want to take a second to talk about the current gaming environment we find ourselves in, specifically in regards to Battlefield 2042, because I think it shows a lot about the culture we live in. We live in this age of instant gratification without hesitation, swiping and sliding, 30 seconds here, 15 seconds there. Our culture is in the age of TikTok, and that's what Battlefield is trying to capitalize on here. But here's the thing, a game that centralizes these TikTok moments in their game design doesn't make for great gameplay. Welcome to the channel, gamers. My name is Tacti. If you enjoy this video, definitely move your thumb 3 inches and hit that like button. It's the best way you can support me. Alright, let me talk about what I mean, because this is going to be what I believe Battlefield's biggest downfall, at least at the release. Not that it will fail, I believe it's going to be a hit and a great game in about 6 months, but the design right now appears to be just a game centered around how much can happen to one player in 30 seconds. And that's going to be a bit of an issue when it comes to general gameplay. And look, I know we don't know everything about what's coming on the release, but I want to give you 3 reasons that show me, at least in the beta, why this game is primarily designed around those TikTok moments. And then I want to share why that makes for a bad game design. Let me know if you agree or disagree down below. I would love to hear some other opinions on this. Let's start with number 1, the operators. Now, so far we've seen some interesting operators. 10 of them, I believe, is the exact number. Some of them are more support and have more practical gadgets. For example, Maria Falk. She will predictably be one of the least used operators. She has some healing abilities with her little med gun and can revive players to full health. That's a helpful addition, but I want to show you a quick snippet of data from the closed beta. The gist of this infograph here, nobody cares about Maria. Sorry, madam, you're just another asset. Players are about the action. They're about the craziness. They're about the grappling and making some crazy cool clip to show their friends. This is just the beginning though. With other operators like Sundance, who's probably going to be the most used character on the list, they offer cool little gameplay gadgets like smart grenades and a wingsuit, and Jisoo, who has a literal wall hack. People are going to be going for those action shots. Who knows what all other operators will be available, but the operators with more support gear like maybe a mounted machine gun or some sort of recon drone probably won't be the most used. They're all likely going to be a rare sighting. You're likely going to see 1 to 3 different operators on the battlefield in this current state. Why? Because it doesn't promote more action. And while these action moments are amazing to watch and experience as an individual, it leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to teamwork and the flow of the game. Because, in the end, everyone is in it for themselves. Everyone wants their TikTok moment. Which then brings me to the second point, the overall environment. By this, I mean primarily the general map design and layout when it comes to the location of objectives, but also the surrounding areas, the vehicles, the levolutions. Here's what I mean about level design, specifically from the open beta, since we didn't play any other maps. All these points on the screen really don't promote a whole lot of objective-based play. Let's just take a look at A1 from this map and A2. They're a sector on the edge of the map with very few buildings and not a whole lot of cover from the skies. Here's where the problem comes in. The fighting around these areas is very, very slim. Most of the fighting takes place on the tarmac or whatever it's called. When I was playing, about 90% of the battles took place around this area. Why? Because these are outside areas. They're boring. They're on the edge of the map. There's not a lot of explosives. There's not a lot crumbling. So the battles are always going to take place down on the strip because that's where the most congestion is. That's where the most action is happening. And I believe it's specifically designed this way because it promotes the most chaos and the more likelihood of an incredible TikTok moment. Instead of spreading out the map a bit and having small bits of chaos at all the objectives, it's created in a way that allows mass chaos at only a few objectives. That leaves the other objectives useless. And there's no real point in going over there because you're not going to have action. And then on top of that, you've got some random tornadoes coming into the map. And now this will be a cool experience, I believe, for the first maybe 2 weeks, and then it's just going to become another meh part of the map. Either that or it's going to become one of those things that everyone just gets annoyed with. Sure, it'll be good for some amazing Battlefield moments, again, those TikTok moments, but is it really going to make gameplay better? My prediction is no. Instead, the tornado is just going to be an annoying aspect of the game that doesn't allow the opposing team to capture a specific objective at a certain time. Instead, it's just going to throw vehicles around and attract every Sundance main, so it looks like a Sundance swarm with their wingsuits out LARPing as flying squirrels. And the last point here in regards to the environment, I want to talk about the vehicles. There are loads of vehicles in this game. Now, it's obviously a bigger map, so vehicles are needed to get around a little bit quicker, but my prediction here is people are going to hate how many vehicles there actually are, and they're going to get tired of the experience here. I think the fact that there are more tanks, more helis, more transports, more techies than ever before truly is going to hinder what little pure infantry experience there are left in this game. Which then brings me to my last point, and likely the least consequential of the three, the customization tree. Now, this may not seem like much. It's a very small feature to the game, and it really won't change a whole lot, but it still gets back to the individualistic nature of this game's design. The customization tree brings about the ability to be two separate soldiers at once, essentially. You're no longer separated into long-range, medium-range, and short-range players. Instead, you can be a couple of these soldiers at once with the attachments you bring. This likely won't affect much, but what it will do, yet again, even slightly, is promote those tick-tockable moments of a quick barrel change or an optic swap for an awesome kill, thus slightly decreasing the encouragement of team play. This, along with the environment and the operators, will be fed by the default hubris of humans in general in a combination that serves only one's self and not the good of the collective whole. You know, sort of like TikTok. How's that wisdom for you in a Battlefield video? You probably didn't expect to get philosophized like that, did ya? Now, the biggest problem with all these things is these moments are a lot of fun. I have a ton of fun with those Battlefield moments. I think they look awesome when they're on the screen, but collectively, these do not make for good gameplay. Instead, the game is lifeless, selfish, essentially turned into a single-player game where other players might as well just be advanced bots, and the objective to win the game, to go capture those points, is essentially replaced with an objective to feed your ego. You've got to get those views, you've got to get those likes, even though 98% of the time, these moments will never come and they're not going to look like you expect. The objective's lost with the true goal of the game tied like a carrot on the stick as you run around chasing something else someone has already caught. A lifeless game derived from a lifeless platform. TikTok is trash. Now, look, I'm not going to end this on a bad note because I don't want you to feel sad about the game or your TikTok habits, though as a dad, I'm entitled to tell you that you're making a big mistake. You should delete the app before it leads you down rabbit holes that you don't want to go. But the good news here is that I think that Portal and Hazard Zone are going to be great additions to this game. Portal is going to allow players to facilitate more objective-based play on their own servers while removing the extra gizmos and doodads, so the Battlefield moments may still occur here, but at least you're able to play the objectives with those who hopefully hold the same mindset, as well as make stupid things like World War II soldiers against modern soldiers. That could just be dumb fun, but it's good that Portal does allow for customizable things, and they may have done this on purpose because they knew that they were taking a risk with how the game was being designed, so this love letter to Battlefield fans may have been the safe route just to implement. If I had to put money on it, I would bet that's what it is. And Hazard Zone does sound really cool. I always like those high intensity moments. I like a BR. I do like Tarkov when I'm not dying all the time, but that's rare. So we'll just see how this plays out in the Battlefield environment. It sounds pretty cool from what we know, but we don't, again, know a whole lot. It could be a great tactical mode, though the time to kill, if that stays the same, it's going to be a big note for me because I hate the time to kill in Battlefield. It's just a little bit too long. I prefer something a bit more hardcore, but maybe that will be tweaked as well. But that's all for this. What do you guys think? You think I'm wrong here? I'd love to hear some dissenting voices below. I'm curious to what you all think. Do you think this game is going to be too fast and showy? Are you disappointed in the operators? Are you going to uninstall TikTok? And if not, why do you even use it? Thanks so much for watching and sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed the content, obviously that subscribe button down below is waiting for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.
Need to make up losses. Russians are securing objectives fast.